move right into introducing our next speaker, Gail Whitlow, who's a uh, Ganehaga elder and Mohawk elder. Hi, Gail. Uh, I've known her for
Hi, David.
10 years, and through ceremonies and through her experience on her land of the dancing deer. Uh, she is a grandmother. She is a part of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. Her father is Mohawk. Her mother's um, Bear Clan. Bear Clan is the sacred healing clan, and that is what she does. She works with grandmothers around the world. She's a mother of 5 children and 14 grandchildren who are connected to their cultural roots. Uh, she's proud to see them walk their path. Being born into the Bear Clan family means a path of healing and medicine. And she's created all these little bears to follow her. So anyway, she's a traditional healer, a medicine knowledge keeper, a pipe carrier, and much more. And together with the heartbeat of ceremony and love, her people can breathe in the essence of unity and peace. She's a founder of Ancestral Voices Healing Center, and that's in the chat. She's co-founder of Grandmother's Voice, founder of Sacred Sites and Sacred Journeys, a co-founder of Grandmother's Circle of the Earth, and founder of the Land of the Dancing Deer, land-based learning site. And it's been a great pleasure and honor to have participated in that with you. So with that, I will offer this tobacco, and I see if you can catch it, and I'll pass the feather on to you. So welcome again. Sego, Sego.
There you go. Well, David, it's such a pleasure to be with you tonight and with everyone tonight. You know, yes, I've known David for, we've done many things together, 10 years or so, years, and it's always wonderful, you know, to be a part of all of the initiatives that, you know, he's been part of. The water project was a few years back, and so my chit chat is kind of a little bit different than most because that's who I am. I'm not that scientist per se. I live here at Six Nations, but I do have a beautiful project called the Land of the Dancing Deer, and in this project, you know, we considered everything that's been talked about tonight. How do we bring that innovation of our ancestors back to the land, back to the community? So the project that I'm embarking on right now, it's a big project, but what it does is it introduces our Haudenosaunee technology, as well as the water systems and farming systems, and you know, the gardens and all of those different things back into the land, so that again we can use it as a teaching tool for not just our people, but for many nations, any nations who want to come and learn and be a part of it. And of course, we're always fundraising to you know, manifest the dream, working with some wonderful partners in Toronto as well to, you know, get it going. But it's phenomenal, and it does address, you know, everything that I've heard here, introducing you know, the vegetation back to the land, because one of the factors of ill health is when you know, your land and your trees and your medicines are taken from the land and it's clear cut. So every time that happens, it's the recipe for disaster health wise. And so by introducing in the, you know, the natural species back into the picture, well, that helps to improve your health. So you know, from a spiritual context, we are all interconnected, and we're interconnected through not only you know, the internet and the hotlines and the technology, but you know, a few years ago I took some formal training in my herbalism knowledge, and my first course I did was biochemistry, and I go, oh my gosh, I haven't done this course in years. And So I looked at the cell in a new way because we all know that the cell has a brain, and then but it wasn't until I re-looked at it from a much more older eye that I said, this explains everything. We're a bunch of cells that form our human body, but the earth, the air, the animals, the plants, every cell has a brain, and so we're part of one big brain. And I remember learning about that years ago. And then the other big insight that came from my biochemistry class was I looked at that molecule and I said, you know what? This represents the solar systems. So then I looked at how the solar systems interact as one unit, and so basically, like, we're connected to everything, and we're part of the change. We're part of the problem, and we're part of the change. And so when we look at things like, well, I would call it COVID and pollution, and all of these things that have a negative connotation to them, caused by our habits. Well, these things come as that balance, and I've heard it explained many times tonight in the wonderful presentations that have been shared. I've seen firsthand the care and the real desire to create that change. And so all our big brain is working together, and so together we will get through this. And when I say COVID is a blessing and pollution is a blessing, what I mean by that is, if we didn't have pollution and it was affecting only myself, then there would be nothing done about it. But because it's affecting everyone, then everyone gets on the bandwagon to make change. And it's the same with the COVID. It was so beautiful to look up in the sky and not see, the masses of planes where we live here at Six Nations. You can just look up in the sky and there's all of these, you know, um, all the planes that travel. And travel is important, not saying that, we have to give that up, but, it's creating environmental pollution. And so when we can be part of that change, and we can let Mother Earth, have that rest, and to see all of the animals, and to see that it took no time at all for nature to, get to that process of, you know, um, becoming alive again. And so we have to look at our actions from that. We're the ones that are um, desensitizing our environments. Even our animals. Our animals used to live in a natural environment, and now we dress them and we keep them inside, and we treat them so much differently than they would live in the natural environment. Ourselves, we have been taken out of that natural environment too. And there was a time where we didn't spend any time inside because we were so busy preparing for the coming seasons, being aware of what was coming, and in nature, and the seasons, that we had a very active lifestyle, and we did not have the TV and all of these things that help us to become, I would call us, less humans, because we're taking the human out of us. We're meant to work really hard, and our bodies are built like that. And the next thing, I guess, that technology is very important. We can't live without it, but it's also causing to overpopulation. How many years ago was it that there was no emergency rooms, there was no medical doctors, and if you were in an accident or something happened, well, if it was your time to make that journey, well, you made that journey. And now we have to look at it in a total different light, because we have the emergency rooms keeping us alive longer than nature intended. So that creates a strain also on the environment, because there's more mouths to feed, when the natural process of coming and going disrupted in that manner. So I know that I guess that one of the solutions that makes sense to me that you don't have to lobby for is creating that collective picture of health and well-being. And how we do that is by visioning together. So it's like we have elders all around the world who do nothing but pray for us every day. They're in constant prayer for the well-being of all of us human beings, of all of the animals and all of the plants. They're in constant prayer, and that's what we need to do too. And that's really simple to do, but we just don't realize the importance of such a gesture. So I encourage you, what we use is tobacco. So David offered me that wonderful tobacco, and when I see him again, then we'll be able to exchange, that tobacco, because that's kind of like a contract that's made. Tobacco absorbs energy. So when David puts his intentions for, what it is that he is requesting, then it kind of forms a contract. And then I accept the tobacco, and that means I'm accepting, the whatever it is that we have agreed to work on. So I have a choice when I receive that tobacco. So sometimes what I do is I take the tobacco and I put it in with other tobacco that has been given, and then I add it to ceremonial fires. I can also put it on the land. And as soon as I put it on the land, it's like Mother Earth simply takes that energy and takes those thoughts and helps them to manifest or to be. And so sometimes we're getting a little too technical, because in reality, simplicity is always the key. We use our prayers, we lay them down, and then we have to have that trust that they're being heard, and that that's what we have to do, and that our prayers will be answered. So our doom and gloom doesn't always have to be as gloomy as maybe it is. But when I also heard tonight, we talked about the trees and how important the trees are, and again, that's part of that ecosystem. And you take the trees away, they represent the lungs of Mother Earth. And when those lungs are taken away, well, we can't breathe properly. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone a wonderful Earth Day. And from the bottom of our hearts, we'd like to thank everyone for all of the hard work that they are doing in all of the different fields. And, may we collectively make the changes necessary to bring our world back to balance. And it's not impossible. So, yeah.
Nyawagoa, Gail. It's always a pleasure to meet with you and hear you speak. So I wish you well in all your endeavors. I know that you're working with the grandmothers around the world, and you're constantly moving, and it's
Yes.
your work is really truly invaluable. So Yamagoa all over.
Mm. Yep. Mm.
Okay, so on to Lynn now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight.